everybody, this is Jan with a new episode of my tech reviews. And I'm a curious guy, so I'm looking around and I found a special place, a new TMS for me I didn't know before. And today on the show, I have the CEO of the company. We're talking about Lugath, and with me on the show is Orcun Ulgen. I hope this was correct.
Definitely.
Orcun, thank you for being here and welcome on the show.
It's my pleasure, Jan. Thanks a lot for inviting me to this session. I hope this session will be very valuable for all of your audiences. And maybe before the starting, we can mention that please subscribe and watch all of them, because on the behind, there are lots of things to accommodate all of these things.
Thanks a lot. We will talk about the backstory of the company today. And we want to understand, where do you come from? How did this project started? Where are you based? Mm-hmm. And let's go for it. We want to get to know the whole thing. So let's start.
Sure. So this is Orcun. My main profession is software development. I'm a software architect. I'm living in Istanbul. Lugath is also located in Istanbul. After the graduation, I worked for a bank in Turkey for a while. After a couple years, so I decided to switch to another company because of some other reasons, maybe in technical manner. There are lots of reasons, but I will not try to mention all of them. And the Sony story started after this. I was the part of the software development team in Sony marketing platform. So there was a software development center in Istanbul, and they were responsible to maintain and deliver the Sony marketing platform, which is served to 80 different countries in Istanbul, from Istanbul. We were responsible to create the content, publishing on the website, translation and localization, of course, especially before the launch dates. So if the Sony they decided to launch the new version of PlayStation in CES, maybe. So all the content should be translated and localized before the launch date. All the contents firstly previewed for 80 different countries. After the approval, then we were deployed to the marketing platform.
So a very big operation.
Definitely,
Sony is very big.
Definitely. Of course, when you think the Sony products, there are lots of contents on the website, images, text, on the support side. So articles, FAQs, manuals, downloads, most of these contents should be maintained well. Of course, the privacy is the most important component for this delivery. And of course, translation and localization, because Sony tried to sell these products to the individuals. So I met with my business partner, Burak. He's the CTO of our company, and we show some of the problems. We experienced lots of problems for this workflow. We were the responsible developers to implement this automation, and then we decided to make it available with our improvements to other companies, because if you are a company that have a global targets, global passions, so you must translate and localize your content in a way. Contrary to popular belief, it is not a one-time job. It is a lifelong process. If your service or product live and continue to give the value proposition to the audience. So that is why we started.
So you were inside the company, you had to handle all this, the internationalization technology behind the localization workflow. And then came this moment where you decided, hey, why don't we start a business ourselves, right?
Definitely.
And you did.
Yes. It's of course hard to switch from a large industry company to startup. It has of course lots of problem. It's coming with this decision.
You left your comfort zone, I guess.
Definitely. But we are very happy because we are using all the experience in technical manner, in translation and localization maintenance to one product. So we are using all the expertise in the one product and trying to give the best value proposition to maintain this workflow for our scope. Maybe I can little explain what is Lugath mainly and what are we doing. Lugath is a AI-based translation and localization management platform to automate the software localization. So we are targeting the multilingual applications. It can be websites, softwares, and it can be also documents. So if you are a large industry company, I mean, our background is a large industry company, and we decided to continue with these customers. And one of our customers is a Siemens AG. The Siemens AG, large industry company, they have lots of products, and we are the responsible for translating the factory automation products, technical guides. Mm-hmm. Thousands of pages, lots of languages, and they are also publishing all the content in the help center of them. So it's a web application. So we are the responsible for actually part of this process. We are not only we are the technology provider, but of course on behind they have a team to maintain this workflow,
the translators and the translation agency, whoever does the translation work.
Definitely. And our story started with this. So we, after these tractions as a startup, these are the small steps. We raised the pre-seed round, and then 20K. It's again small amount of money. But we continue. We continue to improvements. We burn all the money to improve the product quality. I really remember the first version of Lugath. Now it is far from there. But again, I'm really happy to see the current version of it.
When did you start?
We launched the company at July 2021. At the end of the year, we were the top 20 startup in Turkey ecosystem. There was an accelerator program. This is the largest program in Turkey. So we were in the top 20, and we met with some investors. Then we raised the pre-seed round on November 2022. From then, we are going bootstrapped. So still we are trying to find the funds. So we are planning to open the next round, but currently it is going bootstrap.
I wonder, I know the software localization and software development it's such an endeavor. Mm-hmm. So having a market where there's so many players already in 2022 or 2021, we have all the big TMS out there. What passed your mind to say, but, there's all these buts. I want to do something different or something new. Why?
Sure. Let me explain. Of course, there are lots of TMSs, and maybe the old name is the CAT, Computer Assisted Translation Tools. So most of these tools, main value proposition is for the language service providers and translators. Okay, but for the software development teams, marketing teams, sales teams, after sales teams, these tools are really complex. And for the development side, your tool should be, how can I say, developer friendly. So you need to integrate lots of content from lots of sources, and you need to maintain it in one place in a way. And if you need a human translation, if you need a human contribution, then you have to share to them to get a contribution. It should be another functionality, of course. And we decided firstly, our first decision actually, to create a marketplace with the LSPs, with some features. But this is really hard, really hard to maintain the whole operations if you are very small. Then we decided we make a pivot to another value proposition, which is currently ongoing. So we are integrated with 13 systems, including OpenAI, Google Translate, DeepL, Modernity, and we are trying to understand their translation quality, because this is always changing and it is very normal. All of them is developed by another teams. For each sprint, their translation quality could be changed because they are using different techniques, different data, and because of these reasons, you should be away from these changes, right? So because you need a translation, the best possible translation, especially for the AI side, machine translation or LLM side. Then if you need more contribution, if your content risk level is very high, then you can continue with the translators maybe. Then this is the Lugath score currently. On the top of that, we implement some other features. Maybe I can show later on. Some of the features to maintain the workflow related problems. And of course, some of these features not included in these service providers like Google Translate or LLM. So we are trying to implement a feature that can be used with the multi-engine or multi-system environments, like a cross-engine applicable glossary, cross-engine applicable automated translation memory. There is no decision on behind. So automatically handling the whole segments. Should I store, should I use, or everything. Again, machine translation benchmarks. We are always changing it with another AI-based machine learning services. And of course, LLMs. Currently, the LLM side is a high topic, especially for the post-editing, proofreading operations. It is very decreasing the time when you review the content, when you make changes on the content, actually. That is why actually I love the LLMs. Yeah, this is the main functionalities, I must say. I can show it later.
I have seen you are publishing also a report on this, on quality, right? So this is a lot of work you have under your fingers. How many people are you right now?
We are a small team, 6 people, but as you said before, the report is trying to explain how are we evaluating these AI translation services with another AI objectively. This is the main purpose. And on behind this process, of course, there are lots of articles, there are lots of white papers, there are lots of research and development on behind. But at the beginning, maybe most of the people think that translation and localization problem is done. So there are lots of services like Google Translate and everything. Translation problem is solved. They are thinking like that, but it is not. I am saying now, again, it is not. It is still a very hard problem. Solutions can be changed during the time, but this is really a hard problem. Believe me, as you know. That is why we are stuck this problem. This is our main patient. And we are continuing from that point.
What is in the process of creating such a product, a competitor in the market, a solution, an additional solution? What do you think is there any advantage of being a Turkish company than being in the US or in Northern Europe? Or how do you feel? Is that a competitive advantage you see for you?
Actually, not really. In Turkish ecosystem, if you are trying to serve a software as a service company, AI company, and trying to sell to US or UK or European Union, it's really hard sometimes because of the payment systems, maybe legal problems. So because of these reasons, it is an ongoing process, by the way, we are thinking to make a flip up to UK, I must say. But definitely, a Turkish ecosystem is a small ecosystem when we compare with the UK or US or EU. So, of course, it is coming with a lot of problems. But on the other side, it gives you more powerful. You have more resistance to lots of problems because startup is coming with lots of problems and you need to handle it. But again, we are trying to make a flip up.
Fantastic. Tell me a little bit about your clients, and then afterwards we show a little bit of the interface of the product itself, because this is why we are here today. What kind of clients do you principally target? Is it software companies? You mentioned before, is it large enterprises like Siemens? Is it LSPs as well, translators?
Let me explain that part. So we are mostly targeting the large industry companies, but also the startups or the SMEs that have multilingual softwares. This is our main purpose. We are not trying to go to LSP side because LSPs are already using really powerful TMSs to maintain their workflow because their workflow is more complex and they have another requirements. But we are targeting software development teams. Imagine that you are a software developer, you made lots of things, you have lots of things to do behind, you have lots of backlog items. Then you made it, you are trying to deploy it to your system, but you have to handle one thing. Translation and localization is done or not. This is not your responsibility, but you have to fix it in a way, if you think the whole team. This is the other problem, actually, we are trying to focus. It should be very fast, it should be developer friendly, it should be understandable by the software development teams, agile teams. Then then the deployment and the delivery will be faster. It will decrease their time to market. So it will give to them the go global faster, right? So this is the main purpose to increase this speed of workflow.